So I was just editing my video of prediction of UFC 279 for the fight of Khamzat Chimaev versus Nate Diaz, Ferguson versus Li Jingliang, D-Rod versus Kevin Holland, and suddenly I'm glad that I have not uploaded that video, because this has been the craziest fight week in the history of the UFC. Like, for the first time in the history of UFC, the press conference got cancelled because simply Nate Diaz and Khamzat Chimaev and apparently Kevin Holland got into some kind of a scuffle backstage. And I'm glad now that I haven't uploaded the video prior, because in those videos I have done the breakdown of the fight that is going to happen in UFC 279, like the fight that was scheduled to be happen. And now I'm glad I haven't uploaded it, because the whole fight card has changed, and it has changed for the better, because now the fights are way more interesting, way more competitive. And like, now it has been moved because Khamzat Chimaev have missed the weight, as you might have known by now, because maybe you're a martial arts fan and you must have stumbled upon my channel because you are looking for the content related to this particular fight week. Like, this was such a crazy event, crazy turn of events. Like, Khamzat Chimaev missed weight, 178 pounds, something like that, and Nate Diaz was on weight. And guess who was fighting at welterweight again? Tony Ferguson. And it's crazy because he made the move to welterweight, and just at the same time Nate Diaz was happening to be fighting against in that card. And now the thing that has never happened again, like Khamzat Chimaev versus Nate Diaz got cancelled, and the thing that has never happened again. Like, it's hard to believe, because Nate Diaz and also Tony Ferguson are like very experienced like mixed martial artists. Like, they have been long in the UFC, so it's like it was just like, I was just thinking, like, they have never fought with each other before. Like, it's crazy to believe that. I mean, it's crazy to even think about that, but that is the truth. They have never fought again. They have never fought with each other. So that's the crazy thing. And now when I look into this fight, now the fight card has completely changed. Now it is Khamzat Chimaev versus Kevin Holland, like, because they had the scuffle, or probably they were like both having the same, like, weight, because this fight between the scheduled fight between Kevin Holland and Daniel Rodriguez was 178 pounds. So Khamzat Chimaev weighed at 178 pounds. So that fight was made. And because the backstory between Khamzat Chimaev and Kevin Holland, who knows, but this fight was made. And in that fight, I would say Khamzat Chimaev is the favorite, because Kevin Holland is taking this fight because he has prepared for Daniel Rodriguez, who is not very high level wrestler. He's good at wrestling, but the best thing about him is his boxing. So, like, props to Kevin Holland for accepting this fight, but I think this is something that is going to go south for him. I think he's going to lose. I think here I'm picking Khamzat Chimaev. And the second fight we're going to talk about is Li Jingliang and Daniel Rodriguez, because I mean, like, Li Jingliang is, I believe, like, has one of the bad lucks, like, because we saw in the press conference he was prepared so much. He had that suit on. He wanted to be, like, be one of the well-dressed people in the press conference, and the press conference never happened. So I feel sad for Li Jingliang, and he was about to KO, literally knockout Tony Ferguson, because I believe he might have knocked out Tony Ferguson. And that's why we say that this fight has changed for the better, because now we see that there are no longer going to be, one-sided fights. Like, you cannot predict this fight now. So I can say here Li Jingliang might edge out Daniel Rodriguez, but there's this thing, like, Daniel Rodriguez was at 180 pounds and Li Jingliang was at 171 pounds. So you just have to understand there is high weight difference here. So that's why at the end of the day I will pick Daniel Rodriguez, D-Rod, because he can do this, that, you know, like he can have that much of wrestling that can defeat Li Jingliang. So I'm picking Daniel Rodriguez. I'm picking Khamzat Chimaev between Kevin Holland. And even though Kevin Holland is going to lose that fight, Kevin Holland is not going to lose any stock by this fight, because he's going to build up his stock, because he has done one of the most, you know, like very crazy thing. Like he has done one of the very brave things by accepting fight against Khamzat Chimaev. And yeah, props to him, props to Kevin Holland. He's a big mouth, but he is also, you know, he's one of the bravest, you know, fighters in the UFC welterweight division, because to accept that fight is something like you must have guts to accept that fight. You must have guts. So props to Kevin Holland for accepting that fight, but he's going to lose. So Khamzat Chimaev and Daniel Rodriguez, not Li Jingliang. And the second and the main event. Okay, so this is craziest thing, you know, like the main event is between Tony Ferguson and Nate Diaz. Like the amount of following that these people have, you know, like it was nearly, you know, like it was destiny for both of them to fight, because they have one of the, you know, like there are fans of mixed martial arts and there are fans of these special personalities, and these two people have very special personality. They are very different from the modern day mixed martial artists. They do not believe in, I mean, Tony Ferguson still believes in being champion, but Nate Diaz doesn't believe in being champion. Like that interview in the ESPN thing, I mean, like that was something very strange to listen to, but some of the points he said were very valid, and some people like that persona. Some people like the persona of El Cucuy, some people like the persona of Nate Diaz not giving anything, you know, like not buying into anything like championship or something like that. So here I believe, if I'm doing the prediction, if I'm the betting man, if I'm the prediction man, like I predicted 3 fights in the UFC 278, and all of those 3 fights were right. The fight between Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman, I predicted Leon Edwards is going to knock out Kamaru Usman. I predicted the Costa and Luke Rockhold fight right, and I also predicted Merab Dvalishvili and the Jose Aldo fight. And many people predicted, none of these, you know, like big YouTubers have predicted, you know, these fights, all these 3 fights right. And I believe, because I saw some of the things that were very interesting, so I predicted all the fights correctly. And now I'm predicting Khamzat Chimaev, Daniel Rodriguez, and the third fight I'm going to predict here is Tony Ferguson. Let's make this clear, I'm big time Tony Ferguson fan. I'm a big fan of Tony Ferguson. I think he's one of the, you know, like very underrated, you know, he has one of the very underrated wrestling, he has very underrated boxing. Nate Diaz can win this fight, but the way that Nate Diaz wins fight is by using his cardio and using it in the later rounds. So there's a problem here, because Tony Ferguson also has great cardio, so you're not going to win that exchange, you're not going to win like that. You're not going to make Tony Ferguson tired, even though it's 5 rounds, even though it's 7 rounds. El Cucuy, he's not getting tired, and that's why I think Nate Diaz is going to lose. So I believe Nate Diaz is not winning this fight, probably Tony Ferguson. So I'm giving, it might be close fight, but it's still Tony Ferguson, Khamzat Chimaev, and Daniel Rodriguez. These are my picks. If you like the content, please like, share and subscribe, and that's what we do in this channel. We try to predict, and we try also have, you know, some of the news of the UFC related content and all that. If you like the content, please like, share and subscribe. Peace.